Welcome to another exercise here at Senior Art Strokes, and this time we're going to be talking about the kneaded eraser, how we can use this to our advantage, how we can create something with it other than just erase a mistake or something that we don't want there. And we're going to do this very simple exercise, of course using only our vine charcoal. And in order to do this exercise, since we're going to be drawing with this, which means we're going to be exposing the white of the paper, right? Means that we need to add a lot of charcoal in order for these markings to show. So the first thing we'll do is just, let's just do a little rectangle here, a little frame, and we are going to, there and about there. We're going to keep it kind of small. This is about an 8 by 10, something close to that. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to start adding tone. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way across, almost like similar to our exercises to create muscle memory. Remember, you can mix this a lot nicer than if you have a fine tip. So we'll go all the way down, and as you can see, I'm not being that careful of being that smooth right now. The only thing I'm concerned about is just getting enough charcoal in my paper where I'll be able to use my eraser and create something out of it. Went all the way down, now I'm going all the way up and keep on adding more and more charcoal. One thing, if you notice, when I'm doing this, as I have mentioned before, my hand from the tip of this charcoal to the elbow is just one solid piece. It doesn't move. Only the shoulder and the elbow is what moves, okay? Nothing else. You don't want to move your wrist, you don't want to move your fingers, because then it'll be too difficult to create, to be accurate. So the best thing to do is just think about this as, to me, at first the visual I had is a 2x4. From here to the tip is just one solid piece wood or something like that. It doesn't move. So that way you don't have to worry about the temptation of, I need to move this charcoal. No, because as we do this, I'm not rotating the charcoal either, the stick. I'm keeping it only in one place so I can have that flatness. You see how beautiful it is? And at one time we're going to need the sharp of the point, and we can have access to that right away. You don't need to sharpen anything, you need to go back to another stick. And I know this takes time to get it dark enough because I'm going very light. I'm always try to go light with these exercises. You don't want to go too heavy because then you might ruin the paper. Once the paper has been ruined, it's not a whole lot you can do about it. You have to start again pretty much, and we want to avoid that. So I'm going to go down the way down one more time. Okay. Now look at what I'm doing now with this. The other edge, I'm just not going flat this time. I'm just twisting it a little bit, just to add some of the sharpness of the tip. It will push some of this charcoal into the paper. Okay, and that's pretty much all we need to do here. This happened in Honeymoon Island. I live here in the Gulf of Mexico, and on one of my walks to Honeymoon Island, we discovered it was a boat that came who knows where, but it was a pretty strong storm, and this boat was just beached in this area. And just like that, one day disappeared too. But it was in pretty sad shape. But anyway, I thought about, now that will make a pretty nice subject for, you know, for subject for an exercise. And I thought about, this would be ideal for the eraser because we can draw the light pretty much with the eraser, because here you have nothing but solid charcoal. All right, so where the boat is at, it's going to be about, look, very simple line. We'll do it from here. We are just going to go a little bit, put a little more pressure, and create a shape here. Very simple shape. Look, just like that. And we are going to go here like this. You see, it's almost like a long and thin, skinny rectangle, but at the end it tapers. You know, like a boat does. And here we're going to add darker charcoal. Okay, darker tone. There we go. The erosion is getting pretty bad in here. The erosion really is eating the beach away in Honeymoon Island. It's disappearing pretty fast. So we have some, and look how I'm doing this, just up and down strokes. We have some shrubs in the distance in the back. And as you can see, I'm not too concerned about, oh, I'm missing, I'm losing my shape. That's okay. Just don't worry about that. I know this is kind of painful for some people to watch, maybe, because you think, why doesn't he use a darker charcoal just to, or a medium, just to, you know, add tone. But this is going to work just fine. Trust me. Okay, so here we're going to see waves coming like this. We're going to create some very irregular marks back and forth. My charcoal hasn't lift the paper a lot, and you can see I'm creating dust, and that's okay. That's okay. Let's not get bothered by this. All right. So pretty much, believe it or not, this is my sketch. Here's where we're going to try to make something happen out of this. The next step for us now to do is kind of like to define the boat a little bit, the sailboat that was, you know, that showed up there. Well, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to just draw the top. Okay, I get my eraser. This has been warm because I've been using it, so it's nice and soft, as you can see. And we're going to create a tip, like I always do, sort of like that, kind of like a little wedge or something. Okay, and I'm just going to go and do a line from all the way from one end of the boat to the other, sort of like there. Okay, like that. Again, I'm not being very cautious because you'll see how easy it is to manipulate this. Okay, so this kind of like is the top, right? The top of the hole, the top of the boat. And from here, we're got to draw the cabin. The cabin was, this was a smaller boat. I don't know what the footage was, but it was pretty small. So just look how easy I can erase the paper. And from here, I'm just going to go like this and down. You see how we can start drawing something so fast and easy just by taking charcoal away, you know, just by lifting it. And this one had a little window here, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to show the little window about there. And look, all of this has been done with the eraser. And then, and here we have parts of the water coming. Of course, the sea is right here. Let me lift this a little bit. I'm just using my finger. You can use a piece of tissue if you want to. I know my fingers are fairly clean because I wipe them off before I start doing this. That way I know I have some kind of clean fingers. It's not going to be leaving a lot of residue. A lot of people say, oh, this is a no-no, but I've been doing charcoals for many years, and a lot of them, and this has never been an issue to me than my fingers leaving too many markings, unwanted markings, because for what I'm using it or how I'm using it, it really doesn't matter much. So what I'm trying to do here now, I'm trying to put the waves, that are coming from the ocean into the sand, and to really, more than the sand here, they were coming into the mangroves and into all of this vegetation that really is pretty much dying because it's, like I said, the erosion is getting pretty bad at Honeymoon Island. So unfortunately, all of this beautiful greenery that was it was right there by the edge of the sea is becoming all pretty much sticks now. That's what's going on here. But anyway, but I still love my island. I love Honeymoon Island. When I say we, I mean my wife and I. We love to go there for walks. It's a great place. So pretty much I have the drawing that I've been wanting to, the sketch that I need to have. Okay, so I'm showing a little bit of water, and as you see, the exercise is good for people who have a little bit of shaky hands, who don't have a really straight pulse, because, and here you don't need to. My lines, this is water, so if you are a little bit shaky and it doesn't go, you escape a little bit, it really doesn't matter, because all of this is going to start adding texture. You see, you can create this into waves, into water that is coming in and out. Some's hitting the boat, some's going to hit some other vegetation. So it's very easy to, you don't need to worry about being so exact. That is why I always like to use, for beginners, just vine charcoal, because it's so easy to manipulate. You think you got it too dark? Look what happened to this. If you think you got it too dark, just by going live with this, I can make this disappear and manipulate it. You see that? And this is just by using the charcoal. I can start doing that. When you do this, you're going to start creating effect of little waves are running in and out. Okay, so once we have this much here, what we're going to do now, we're going to start creating like the illusion of course we're always trying to get the illusion of distance, right, when we're doing something like this. But this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this charcoal aside. Okay, maybe I'll put it right in here. And I'm going to go for another charcoal. It's the same kind of charcoal, but this charcoal is a little bit, let's see if I grab the right piece. Yes, this charcoal is a little bit darker than the other one, because what I want to do now, I want to add more definition. And here, this boat had this was a dark blue boat. That was the color of it. So I'm just kind of like adding that color in. And from here, it's going to be just a matter of just playing with your charcoal, pretending where the water is, and you're going to escape some areas, because think about it, there's just water coming to the shore. Okay, you can even make those sounds. It's going to help you out. The main thing is that you are just keeping in mind that whatever you do here, you can correct it. You're not going to make that many mistakes. Now, if we want the boat to really show up a little bit more, what we can do is that all of this vegetation we had in the background, we can bring it back again and make it darker. And look, I'm going over over some of the white I already had there, and it's no big deal, because I'll show you how we can bring it back again. Okay, so all of this stuff here is kind of hard to see because it was a lot of vegetation, a lot of things in front, because in one part here, the kind of like the sand kind of like comes out a little bit. So we had some other here. We had some other shrubs that they came. These were all dead. These are all dead branches. Poor things, they have been through heck these last few years with all of these hurricanes, storms that is destroying so much of the coastal line. So these shrubs are pretty much all dead. You just see sticks. Sometimes they look beautiful, and sometimes they remind me about the struggles of life. You can see it here in nature, and just like we struggle with so many things in life. But out of this, we can also create, we can be inspired to create something, beautiful. And why not just do little practice exercises and say thank you for being there, thank you for allowing me to sketch you. And I'm going to go over the little window there again. Like I said, this is a very simple exercise, nothing too complicated there. You lost this line, no big deal. You come now with the sharp part of the charcoal, the tip, and redraw it. You don't even have to be accurate enough to go over the same line, because there's so much here that you don't really know exactly, what goes where. I'm going to go back to my eraser, and we're going to kind of go over some of the white we have lost through the process of the sketching to bring them back. So the main one is right here on top. That's going to show us the cabin, because the sun is really hitting this part. Okay, and here just do little lines, because we have so many twigs and stuff. There's not going to be a clean cut line. When the eraser gets too black, you start doing this, and look what happens. It goes back to almost its natural color. It's like all of the charcoal disappears. It's just fascinating. What a beautiful instrument we have to use. Okay, so again, see, I'm squinting my eyes a little bit. You know what? Maybe we can do a very fine tip like this, and look what you can do. Maybe we can have some seabirds flying at the distance. Okay, and you can barely see them, but we'll do a few more markings, and we'll be able to show them off a little bit more. There. Okay, and maybe the tip here went a little bit brighter. Look how bright you can get to it. It's just going to be all up to you on how bright you want to get this, and very light. I'm not applying a lot of pressure on this. It's not necessary, because this charcoal is very soft, so it lifts very easy. I'm changing the tip to a more like a point tip, and the sun is coming from this direction, so we're going to see some, and don't do a lot of them, just only some highlights in this bushes, just to show them this, and this has some kind of shape, and the sun is coming from somewhere. Maybe here was hit by some kind of wave, kind of breaking there. You see, you can even do that. You can even show like, poof, this was being hit there. Just create these lines, like shows some waves. And same thing, you can do it. And here at the same time, you can, just by doing a couple of 3 lines, it shows, and boom, something. Could be a rock there, could be another short stubby piece of a shrub or whatever that's making a splash. All of this is meant to be helping you, to give you ideas, to stimulate your creativity, your mind, just to start getting busy. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.